Hello and welcome to week 7. We only have 3 more weeks to go. Can you believe it? Summer is already flying by. I know my daughters were very upset when the calendar turned to July because they realized that school was going to be starting for them next month. And as much as I love them, I might also be counting down the days as well. So all I wanted to do for this week was just kind of get caught up on how things are going and give you a quick overview of this week and what's going to be coming in the following weeks. So first I wanted to tell you that I've really enjoyed reading through your anecdotal records. I've always said that one of the best places if you want to do an observation of the way children behave is in the checkout line of Walmart. Because you see the children who are reaching for all of those temptation items that they stock right there as you are checking out. And I always think it's kind of funny to see the way parents react when their children are screaming for something. So hopefully you enjoyed just getting the experience of writing down an anecdotal record. Observation is by far the best way that you can assess children. And so simply just taking notes of what is happening, what children are saying, what the adults are saying, can give you a lot of great information. So thank you for working so diligently on your anecdotal records. So this week we're going to jump into a different topic, which is all about self-esteem, morality, self-competence that children feel. And I think that we would all agree that the way children feel about themselves are absolutely going to be manifested in the way that they behave. Children who feel good about themselves are going to be confident. They're probably going to be leaders in the classroom, and they're probably going to be willing to take chances and try things that they haven't done before. However, children who don't feel great about themselves are also going to find that that is going to affect the way they behave. Whether or not they just become very withdrawn, they're not going to try, they don't want to participate, or there's a lot of times that children who don't feel good about themselves are going to act out. We're going to talk about bullying, I believe it's next week, but I'm always amazed that the research shows that most bullies actually have a very low self-esteem. So they find a way to make themselves feel better by making others feel bad about themselves. So you have 2 chapters to read this week. We're kind of combining chapters 7 and 8 together. And so they're not long chapters and they do fit well together. So hopefully you will enjoy reading about the importance of self-esteem and morality in children and how we as teachers can help. One thing I do want to mention is that I am never an advocate for what I call blowing smoke. We don't need to tell children that they're perfect. We don't need to tell them that there's nothing that they need to work on. But I do believe that we need to be honest with them and be kind. So if children need to work on something, there's no reason that we can't tell them that they need to work on something, but give them the confidence that we know that they're going to be able to do it. So it is important to give children a sense of reality of their own self-esteem. I'm sure that you would all agree that there are lots of children and even adults who have an inflated self-esteem and cannot seem to see their own flaws, although we all have them. And so I do believe that with young children, it's important to start them out being positive, but being realistic as well. So a couple of assignments that you have already been working on, your observation assignment. And this week you are working on something that is the inclusion. It's the second part of what used to be the inclusion project. So you did the first part a couple of weeks ago where you read the article and answered the questions. This week it's something a little bit different. So I just kind of wanted to show you what you needed to do for this particular assignment. So if you go into this week's folder, you're going to find here's our PowerPoint, here's all the information, and here is the assignment. So basically what you're going to be doing is now you're going to get some practical information about how to help children with their social and emotional development, which really is what we're talking about in these chapters when we're dealing with self-esteem and competence, things like that. So the first thing you're going to find is that there is a PDF handout for you. So that's going to be very helpful to give you some practical strategies. And then the other thing that you need to do, this really is kind of the focus of your assignment, is you're going to go to this website, which I'll click on in just a minute, and you're going to see that what this CEFL is kind of the acronym for it. What this website does is it gives teachers all kinds of information about how to help children with their social and emotional development. So what they've done is there are a couple of different areas that they have highlighted and given you some different resources that you can use. What I have asked you to do is to choose in each one of these sections, and I'll show you when I click on that web page, one of the resources and use it with a child. And then basically you're just going to write how it went and your reflections about it. So you're going to see that in things like the scripted stories, they've already created these little stories for you. You just simply have to read it to the children. With teaching social skills, you're going to find that they have some different charts that you could use. So basically, all I'm asking you to do is choose a resource from each one of these sections and try it out. It can be your own child. It can be if you're teaching in a classroom, if you're teaching vacation Bible school. It doesn't matter where you're working with children or you have access to children. This is just to give you some practical experience with not only using this website, but using the resources that they have. So when we click on this website, it's going to take you right to what you need. And so here are the different strategies that they have. So again, you're going to be choosing one from the scripted stories, one from the book nook, and one from the teaching social emotional skills. So as you go down, here's the scripted stories. So they have already created 8 different little PowerPoint stories. You could just simply have them up on your electronic device. You can print them out if you use them. But basically, it's just a way to help children deal with some of these social and emotional skills that we want them to learn. So choose one of these, read it to a child or a group of children, and just kind of write about the experience, your thoughts on the particular resource, if it did what you thought it was going to do. I would say probably no more than a good paragraph is all you need for that. The next one you're going to be looking at is the Book Nook. And so again, these are easy to use guides. And so they've already given you the story as well as some different activities you can do with it. Again, choose one and do it with a child or a group of children. And then finally, we're going to get down to the teaching social emotional skills. And there are just different a solution kit, a turtle pattern, a turtle technique, problem solving steps, a feelings chart. It doesn't matter. Choose one of them and try it with a child or a group of children. But basically, what I wanted you to see is this particular resource, which is really great for teachers. This is just one aspect of this particular website. But just to see how you can use different resources to teach these skills. We all know that children are not born knowing how to get along with each other, how they are supposed to act in certain situations. And so resources like this can really kind of help. So that's all you have to do for this particular project. Choose one resource from each of those 3 sections, do it, and then write about it. So when you're finished with that, you have 2 weeks to get it done. That will take care of the inclusion part 2. So for this week, there is nothing additional that you need to do for your attendance or participation. You worked hard on your anecdotal records. You're already working on your observation. Now this assignment, hopefully you're keeping up with things you're going to want to put in your philosophy, which is going to be your final exam. And reading chapters 7 and 8 this week just to kind of give you some great background information. So as long as you log on to Blackboard at some point during this week, you get 100 for your attendance and participation. I really kind of like to structure my classes so that I'm front loading the discussion board so we get to know each other at the very beginning. But as we get into the semester and you're working on your assignments, I kind of back off of the discussion boards just to allow you the time to work on your different assignments. So I think that's all for this week. Enjoy learning about the importance of self-esteem and the role that it plays in children's behavior. I hope you enjoy exploring that website. Please don't feel as though you're limited to only looking at that particular page on that website. There are a million resources that you could access from that one particular website. So feel free to browse through and use anything that you find on there. So have a great week. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I will see you in week 8.